All right, welcome everyone. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. You know the drill already. If you're live here, a message will be dropped on the group, and make sure you react to the message if you're here, so your attendance can be taken. All right, it's almost time. 12, 10. I'm going to kickstart the class. Introduction to Excel and its interface. So, if you are currently in this section, make sure you react to the message so I can take your attendance. All right, I can see some reactions already. Some people are just reacting to the class link, right? Since okay, I can see Honorable Abdul Fatai, I can see Denike, I can see Moses, I can see Peace, I can see AY. I just the five that are here. All right, I can see Evaristos reacting to the message on the Google Meet. All right. You're welcome if you're just joining us. All right, Amid, Chris, Kelvin, I see you. Timilade, I see you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, it's 10:05 already, so let's start the class in proper. So today we're going to be talking about introduction to Excel and its interface. You know we're still doing the introductory class, right? So if you're able to join the introductory class, you are highly um lucky because starting from next week or so, we're going to deep dive into the career part itself, right? So the class is going to be splitted in different groups, right? So we're going to have the data science, we're going to have the data analysis, we're going to have the programming group, we're going to have the web development group, right? So, and if you are not registered on that particular course, you can't join the meeting, right? So your emails are going to be collected, and the career path that you want to venture into, right? So I'm sure now you understand the meaning of the career part of data analysis. You also know the career part of data analyst to some extent. I know you know the tools to use, you know the tools that data analysts use. And if it's something that you're interested in, make sure you pick data analytics. If you're also interested in data science, make sure you fill the form that, okay, you're interested in data science. If it's web development, make sure you pick it. If it's introduction to programming, make sure you pick that career path too. But notice that you are only going to be allowed to pick a particular career path, right? So be it data analyst, be it data scientist, be it programming, and that email that you dropped for your registration is what you are going to be using to be joining the class, right? Because if you try to use another email, you will not be allowed to enter the class. So I hope that's clear to all of us. With that being said, let's dive into today's class. All right. So if you guys can see my screen, kindly react. All right. Can you guys see my screen? All right. All right. Very well. Very well. That's good. So today's class is going to be very, very interactive because I want you guys to understand the basics of Excel very well, right? So who can tell me what Excel is? What is Excel? And why do we need Excel? Anybody from the comment section? Anyone? You can drop it in the chat too if you don't want to talk. What is Excel and why do we need Excel? You want me to start calling names? If you guys don't want to talk, my class is always very interactive. So if you are saying you're going to come here without saying anything, yeah, that's a lie, right? So let me look for someone. I did DJ Yamide, my friend. How are you? Kindly unmute your mic.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning. How are you? All right.
I'm fine, sir.
Straight to the point. Kindly tell us what you know about Excel, what it is, and what it's used for.
Um, Excel is one of the tools we use to analyze data, and then we also use it for. I mean, it's also a part of tool for that one data visualization, and we are told that Excel has limitations. So that's all.
All right, very good. That's a very nice answer. So straight to the point, Excel is basically a spreadsheet that we use for data analysis, right? So it can be used for business applications to business intelligence. We mentioned different examples when we were doing the introduction to data analysis and visualization. So you can go back if you've not watched the video to have more deep insights about what Excel can be used for, right? So with that being said, let's just dive into what we have for today. So here on my spreadsheet, I have Excel. If you don't have Excel open on your system right now, you can just press the Windows and search for Excel, then open it. If you're using Mac, go ahead and open your Excel and follow me as I take you guys along this class. So before I even start, if you know if you know about Excel before, in the chat box, just type yes. If you've not used Excel before, type no. If you are not sure, just say 50%. So let's go. I want to see how many people are vast with Excel here. If you've used Excel before, 50%. Okay, Amit said 50%. Okay, Abdul Fattah said no. Emmanuel said yes. Temi said yes. Wow, very good. Very good. Evaristo said yes. All right. We have Olashuko. She said 50%. Very good. Who else? Who else? Who else? P said yes. Okay, okay, okay. Used Excel before. So now my question for those people that said yes. Do you know how to use functions in Excel? Functions in Excel where you can write, you can add some. I mostly say 60%. Okay, sure for you. All right, all right. So do you know about functions in Excel? I did the They said 50%. All right, very good. Do you guys know about functions? You know about VLOOKUP? You know about pivot tables? For those that said yes and 50%. So reply. I'm waiting for your reply. Yes or no. John Doe said no. Okay. Amit said just basic, some if and the likes. All right, very good. Okay, okay, okay. Um, just the basics and some other things. Emmanuel said, okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Let's move on. So basically, I'm going to be doing it from the basics, right? So for those that don't know about Excel before, right? So once you come to your Excel, right, you have another message here. We're talking. Okay, Nafisat said these are commands using these are commands for using the formula and their command their commands for using the formula and their formulas bar on the toolbars. Okay, that's very good. All right, so you knew about Excel before. That's nice. So let's move on with the class. All right, once you open your Excel, you have this open on your tab, right? So basically, you have this on the side, home. You have the new. I said it before. Some people are just joining. Raphael, if you come late, me, I'm going to mention your name, right? So make sure you don't come late to my. If we start the class in proper and you're coming late, you know your email ID registered. So your emails are going to be registered. So if you try to come late, I'm going to be marking your attendance one by one and this time you're entering, right? Because we're giving certificates, right? You're going to be giving certificate of this course, and we want to take it very, very serious. So let's continue with this class. All right. So by the side menu here, you have the home, you have the new, and you have the open, right? Down here you have account and options. If you are using the older versions of Excel, you should also see something similar to what I'm seeing right now, right? So you have new here, you have new, and you have this take a tour. So if you want to take a tour, right? If you want to know about Excel in general, Microsoft has a particular onboarding process for you guys. You can go ahead and click on that, but I'm going to be teaching you guys that, so you don't need to worry about that. So moving on, we have what I want you guys to go ahead and do and is to click on these blank windows, right? Now, if you click on black windows, you are going to see that it's going to take you to a home screen, right? This home screen. Now, very good. Now go back and click on file. Once file is going to take you back to the particular landing screen of Excel, right? So you can actually open a template in Excel. If you go to new, right, you can search for templates, right? So imagine you want to do a particular template, maybe your monthly budget, right? There are people that have done templates in Excel already where you as a user can just go ahead and search for that template and you can go ahead and use it, right? So for example, if I search for budget now, so you can see it's loading. So you can see searching thousands of online templates, right? So there are thousands of online templates that you can use in Excel. So you can see we have personal monthly budgets, right? So you have monthly company budgets, right? So there are templates in Excel that you can use, right? But these templates in Excel, you can't just start using them if you don't know the basics of Excel, right? So if you don't know the basics of Excel, there's now you can go ahead and use templates, right? So so I'm just letting you know that this is a particular place where you can search for templates in case you want to do stuff ASAP, right? So with that being said, so let's just go back to our new blank sheet that we created. So if you're familiar with Microsoft Word, with PowerPoint, you should also be familiar with Excel, right? They have the same interface, almost the same interface, right? So now on this up here, right? This is where you can save your file. So you can click on Control S to save, right? It's the same thing. If you come here, you can see this button. It's because we've not typed anything here. So let me just type something, right? And clean it back. So you can see that this button activated, right? So this is called the read undo button, right? Control Z. If you come here and type, um, can you guys see my screen? All right, very good. So I guess it's been long. I shut down my system. I've shut down my system for this class, but So okay, so I just typed something now, so you can see that we can go forward to what we've done before, and we can also go backward, right? This is the redo button, as I said earlier, right? So you can go back and go forward as much as you can. So to do that, you can also press Control Z and Control Y for undo and redo, right? So it's the same thing. So now when you come to Excel, right, you can see this file, right? We have file, we have home, we have insert, we have page layout, we have formulas. So all these things are called tabs, right? So we have the file tab, we have the home tab, we have the insert tab, we have the page layout tab, right? The insert tab, the page layout tab, right? And we have the formula tab, right? Very good. So make sure you jot down these names down, because once you start using Excel and you want to start communicating with your fellow colleagues that are working together, you have to know how to use the correct terms, right? So now all these things under each tabs are called the ribbons, right? So we have the home ribbon tabs, right? We have the insert ribbon tab. So these are the ribbons here, right? Um, so now let's talk about the file tab itself, right? We've talked about we've talked a little bit about the file tab, but let's go ahead and explore it better. So I've explained what this one is. So this open is for when you want to open a particular file from your system or from online, right? So you can see open from OneDrive, that is your online document. You can open from your laptop, you can add a place, and you can browse also, right? So moving ahead, you can also get the info of the particular workbook you are working with. You can save, right? But this is the long process. This is a shorter process here, Control S, right? I said it earlier. So back, you can also customize your. So this place is to print. If you want to print your Excel, maybe you want to print it out on a paper and stuff like that. So you can share. You can also export, and the last one I'll talk about is the options, right? This account is straightforward. So let me close this first. So this account is straightforward. Is if you want to add your account and stuff like that, but we're not going to be doing that because I'm just going to be teaching you guys the interface itself. So now these options, we also have these options, right? So these options are for people that want to customize the Excel interface to their own tastes, right? So they want a particular, maybe they don't want the view tab to show, they want to add another view tab. This is where they go ahead and customize everything. You can also go ahead and customize your formula here. You can also choose where you want to be saving to as default. So you can go ahead and play around with the settings itself, but I would advise you not to touch the settings yet. Can you guys see the settings tab? Can you guys see my account tab? Can you guys see it? All right, all right. Okay. So let's continue. So here in this home tab, right, you have this one here. This is to copy and paste your work. Here you can see cut, you can see the control X, you can see this one is also to copy, and this one is a brush tool, right? In case you want to format a particular style that you have that you've copied, you can just go ahead and use this, right? So let's go ahead to the font ribbon now. So the font ribbon is pretty straightforward if you are used to Microsoft Word. In case you type something like Daveworld now, right? So we type Daveworld now. If you want to change the font, you can go ahead and change the font here. You can go ahead and change the font here. So whatever you want, right? You can choose the Algerian. You can choose the most used font is what Times New Roman, right? So you can go ahead and use Times New Roman. It's going to change. You can go ahead and increase the font size over here. So we can change it to 18. You can see it gets bigger and stuff like that. So so now let's say we type something now here too. So to this just a random text. So let me just add um Ayomide here. Right. So now you can notice what happened. Daveworld is covering Ayomide. Ayomide is covering Daveworld. So I can't really see this name very well, right? So to adjust, okay, we have a message here. Um All right. Yes. Yes. Okay. So you can see that Ayomide is covering the Daveworld, right? So to make sure this Daveworld shows very well, it's very very simple and straightforward. Just come over to this line where they are connected, and you can just drag it, right? You can just drag it. You can see Daveworld shows very well now, right? So this one too we have here. We can bold, we can italic, right? To slant it, we can underline. These are pretty straightforward stuff that you should get used to. So basically, when you are doing data analysis, the reason why this is here is because in case you want to format your work very well. So let's say you are done with monthly budget now, right? So let me just go ahead and show you an example of where the home ribbon is very very useful. So before we went to new and we searched for a particular example, so let's just say monthly budget. All right, monthly budget. All right. So you can see. So let's just open this one. Can you guys still hear me? All right. All right. You guys can see him. So you can see for example, we have this, right? Can you guys see the monthly budget that I opened? Okay. I guess I'm going to stop. All right. So I opened the monthly budget. Can you guys see this monthly budget I opened? Okay. Someone is saying no, sir. All right. Let me know if you guys can see my screen very well now. I'm trying to stop and start again. Can you guys see my screen now? All right. So this is what I opened last. Can you guys see the monthly budget now? All right, all right. So you can see that this is looking very bigger, right? So you can see that here there's even no cell. You can't see any cell here, right? So all this was done using this particular font ribbon, right? So they used it to customize the color, used to customize. You can see the balance. You can see that this one is showing very light yellow and it's showing color red to show that is a negative figure and stuff like that. So the ribbon tab is very very important when it comes to Excel. So also take note of that. So let's go ahead and move on to. You also have this color tab. You can see it's very straightforward, very very simple. If you have used Word before, it should be straightforward. You can also color it to red. You can see like what we have here in this particular price here. You can see red, right? But these calculations we'll get to that later. So you can go ahead and change the color of your text to red and stuff like that. So that's that about the font tab. So we also have the adjustment tab. Right? Okay, Olasupo, your hand is raised. Do you have any question?
I have a question. I not like I have a question. The thing is that your screen once in a while, like it keeps on going off and on.
Okay. Is anyone affected else by that?
Yeah.
So we can know it's from my if it's from my side or from. Okay, so I'm going to say exactly same year. Hmm. Blessing too. Okay. Salimo. Okay, okay, okay. Um All right, Temilade too said the same thing. Okay, what's happening? All right, so let me just stop sharing and share my screen back again to see if you guys can see it very well now. All right, so let me know if you can see my screen now. Can you guys see my screen now? Please kindly drop it in the message box if you can see my. All right, very good. Sorry about that. So I guess the reason is because I was working a lot and I still opened the tab. I didn't restart my laptop, so it's kind of lagging. But let's just continue. Since you guys can see my screen now, so let's continue with the class, right? So we're going to the adjustment ribbon too, right? So the adjustment ribbon too, um it's just the same thing, right? So once you over any icon, you see the usefulness. You can see adjust left, right? You can see this one centralize. So this one to adjust right. So if I click on something like this and I click on this one, you can see it takes me to the left, right? So it's very simple and straightforward. You guys can go ahead and play around with Excel, adjust alignment ribbon, right? So let's go ahead to the numbers. So these numbers is mostly what you'll be using to format your figures and to change your particular Excel cell to the correct data type, right? So now let me just explain this. So every cell in Excel has a way of accessing it, right? So you can see this Daveworld. If I want to access Daveworld, I'm going to say Daveworld is, we're going to address it by the column name first. After the column, we're not going to address it by the row number, right? So don't forget, column comes first, then the row number. So if I click on Daveworld now, you can see Daveworld is under which column, right? It's under C column, right? So you all know that this is your column, right? This is your column, and this is your row. This is your row, right? So Daveworld is under which column? Column C, right? And it's under which row? Row 2. So we're going to say that Daveworld is in the cell C2. Are we clear? So now to be very sure that we're correct, if you go ahead and look at your side here, you can see C2 here. Can you guys see my screen? Please, I want to know you're following. Someone is saying the screen is no longer visible. Wow. So some people are saying they can't see my screen. Some people are saying it's back now. Some people are saying I can't see it. Please, I need to get a prompt response so I can know how to go about it. All right, can you guys see my screen now? All right, so it should not lag again very well. So let's continue. All right, so as I said earlier, to access the particular cell, you start by the cell name first, the column name, which is C, and the row number, that's 2. So we say Dave Word is under cell C2. To be sure, to be correct, to be sure that you are correct, you can look at this part. It's going to show the cell number that you are. So any cell that you click on, if I click on here now, so you can see I4. So why is it I4? Because we're in column I and we're under row number 4, right? As simple as that. So now let's go ahead. So we have this number tab. So I want you guys to notice something, that once I type a number and once I type a text, Dave. So what happens? You can see that the number stays The number stays at the right hand side and the text stays at the left hand side, right? So that's how to identify if your particular cell value is a number or a text, right? So if I do 3 and I mistakenly type something like hyphen, right? You can see that it's going to align to the what, to the left. So Excel has this particular stuff that's going to show you that is cautioning you that the number in this cell is formatted as text or preceded by an apostrophe, right? So you can see that once your value is not in text, Excel is also going to try to tell you that, okay, what you are doing, this is not a number, right? This is a text, right? So if you are using Excel 2007 upward, I guess, Excel has that particular instruction that it gives you that, okay, what you are working with, you've turned it to text, is no more a number now, right? So let's say you want to format this to $3. You can just come here and click on the dollar sign, right? So you can see. So $3, right? So if you want to go ahead and reduce um the decimal point, you can come here and click on this zero. Click on the cell first. So don't forget, always click on the cell first. Then you click on what you want to do. If you want to increase it or if you want to decrease it. So we just want to see $3. No point or anything, right? So if you have a long value to like 200,000 and you want to format it, you can come here and you can click this, right? So it's going to separate it by 3 values, right? So 100,000 units, you should know about that, right? So if you want to go ahead and remove this zero that is here, what will you do? Come here and click on this, right? So now you might have seen other people that, I hope you guys are following. Let me get a thumbs up if you are following me. All right. So let me just give you guys a quick tip here before we continue the class. So once you go to your Excel, most data analysts now that are very, very good, they are very, very advanced. When they're using Excel, I don't know if you've noticed, but they don't use the mouse. Has anyone seen any data analyst like that? Like you've seen a video that the data analyst was not using his mouse, he was just calculating, doing one or two, and he was not using his mouse. Have you guys seen anyone like that? Let me get a reaction. All right. So now the way they do it in Excel is called the shortcuts in Excel, right? So if you want to, let's say we're here now. So let's say we're in our formula tab, right? And we want to go to the home tab, right? So I have to carry my hand, put it on my mouse, then drag the mouse over here to home tab, then click on it, right? That's very, very long. So the other ways to do that is to click on the Alt key on your keyboard. So once you click on the Alt key, it activates all the various shortcut keys that you have in Excel. So let's do that together. Click on the Alt key, ALT. So what happens now? You can see some shortcut keys, right? So you can see, for if you want to go to files, you can see what do you have to press? F. If you want to go to home, you have to click on what? H, right? So imagine someone that is, okay, let's say my mouse was here now. I'm in cell R22. Somebody is dropping a comment. So John, those hand is raised. Do you have any question?
So I'm not sure we can see your screen at the moment.
All right. Anyone else? Can you guys see my screen? Yes, somebody is saying they can see my screen already. Um, okay, everyone is saying they can see my screen. Evaristo can see my screen. Amit can see my screen. Olashikbo can see my screen. So everybody's saying yes. So maybe it's from your side. Maybe it's the network, right? Join those. Um. All right. So I said once you click on the Alt key, right, it activates all the shortcuts that you can have in Excel, right? So let's do that together. All right. So let's click on the Alt key. Can you guys see the shortcuts? If you can see it, please kindly react. Let me see. All right, you guys can see it, right? So now imagine I was in this particular cell V26, right? And I wanted to go to my, and I want to go to my home tab, right? And my hand is on my key, like I just finished typing something here. So let's say I typed Evaristus, Evaristus, right? So now if I want to go back to the home tab, what would I do? Zachariah, your hand is raised.
Yeah, the screen keeps going on and off. It's not the same. It's just going on and off. I don't know why.
For my side, it's showing very well here. Is anyone having the same issue? All right. It should be fine now. Can you guys see it now? All right. All right. So you guys can see my screen now, right? All right. Let's continue then. So as I was saying before, I'm in cell V26 now, right? So let's say I wanted to go to my home tab back, right? So what would happen? I'll have to go ahead and hold my mouse, then drag my mouse back to the home tab, right? But for short, in case you were in formulas tab before and you are under V26 and you want to go back to your home tab, all you have to do is just to activate the short key Alt and click on what H, and voila, you are back to the home tab immediately. So it's also I liked if you want to do any other thing. So let's say you want to format this cell to be bold, you just have to click on what you can see the bold is showing one, right? Just click on one and bam, it's done, right? So in case you see anybody that is using shortcut key that is not using mouse, don't be surprised. They are just shortcuts, right? So if you can know the shortcut keys, you're going to be good to go. So let's continue with what we were doing. So we have the conditional formatting, right? So this conditional formatting, we're going to get to cover it once we dive deeper into Excel. So this conditional formatting is for, like, let's say you have a cell, right? And you want to say, okay, if this cell number is greater than 50, right? So display it to be color green because the person has passed, right? So in case you want to say if it's below 50 and is between the range of 20, so 20 to 50, you can display it to be yellow, right? So you can see this example that Excel is giving us. You can see that you can show green if it's above 6. um you can show a caution sign, you can show a cancel sign. It's all of that when we get deeper into Excel. So I'm just giving the introduction, right? So it's basically for styling a particular cell and giving it conditional formatting, right? So we also have the cell ribbon where you can delete, you can insert new cell if you want to insert a particular row. So let's say we were here now and you want to insert another row, you can just come here and click on insert. All right, so you can just come here and click on insert and you can see insert sheet rows, and you have this, right? Pretty straightforward. Also, the other shortcut that you can also do is to right click on your Excel and you see insert also, right? So you can insert row above, right? So, and right click, do the same thing, click on insert, right? So it inserts a new column, right? So it's pretty straightforward. We also have the auto sum. So the auto sum is used to automatically sum a particular range of cells, right? So let's say you just have some bunch of values here, right? So let's delete this. So now I have these numbers here, right? But I want it to start from this particular age here. What do I do? You highlight everything that you want to do, right? Then you can just click and drag. Click and drag. You can see as simple as that. Click and drag it to the up, right? So you can come here and just click on auto sum. So auto sum automatically sum the values that are above, right? So just click enter. So you can see 14, right? So you can see it's saying sum. We're going to get deeper into Excel formulas, don't worry. So just look at it. It's saying sum H1 column H4. So what is it saying? It's saying sum from H1. What is H1? Cell H1. Where's 1? 1 is here, right? So it's saying sum from cell H1 to H4, right? And that's what it did here. Auto sum. There are also other ways to sum this, right? So you can also say, okay, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. So you also have your particular field tab here. So in case you want to continue a particular pattern, right? So now let's say we have 1, 2, 3, right? And you just want to highlight it. Okay, I was dragging and drop. Okay, so let's say we have something here too. So let's say we have two, right? I just drag and drop it here. So now I want you guys to notice once I click on a particular cell, like I1 now, and I click on shift down. So shift and down is going to highlight the particular cell that I'm going through. Are you guys following me? All right. All right. So now I want you guys to notice this very well. So let's say we have a range of values in our cell. So we have 2, 1. I'm just going to fill this with a bunch of numbers and everything. So now let's say I'm here now, right? And I want to go to the last value. What's the last value here? 6. All I have to do is to click on control and press down. So control down takes you to the last value in your Excel file, right? So control up takes you to the beginning of the Excel value too. But notice if I have a space here, so let's say there's no value here, right? So the last value in this particular column is going to be what? Number 2. So if I click on control down, you can see that it's not taking me to 6, it's taking me to 2. Why? Because that's the last value that it sees before it sees space. Do you understand? So now, so let's say we want to highlight all the values that we have here, right? From the beginning value, from this 2 to this 6. What do? We press Control Shift down. As simple as that, right? To highlight everything. So let's say we want to move this value from I here to A. We just drag and drop. Or let's just put it in C. C is empty. Drag and drop. As simple as that, right? So let's say we want to do auto sum. How do we do that? I already explained. So come down and click on what? Auto sum. So you can see it's highlighting the values that it wants to sum. I just click enter. Right? Pretty straightforward. So that's that about the home tab. We also have the insert tab. Now the insert tab is basically used to style your file. So let's say you want to insert a particular picture to your Excel sheet. You can see pictures here. You can go ahead and click on this. Just click on any picture that you want from your device. Right. So let me just do a quick example. So let's say I want to insert a picture for my downloads, right? So I'll just go ahead and go to downloads, right? And just click on any picture. So you can see, right? So you can insert pictures into Excel. It's very, very simple and straightforward, right? You can also format the picture if you want it to be light or everything. Is you can just play around with the values, right? So once we're done with this class, what I want you guys to do is to go ahead and play around with Excel tabs and ribbons to understand them better, right? So pivot table, recommended pivot tables and tables. We're going to get to dive deeper into that when we get to the particular course outline, pivot tables, right? So, but let me just teach you guys about tables, right? So what are tables in Excel, right? So now what you're having here, they are values, right? But they are basically not a table yet in Excel. So for you to make a table in Excel, you will see that a table would have the correct icons that it's supposed to have, like the filter icons, so that you can go ahead and filter your values. So let's just do a quick example here, right? So let's say we have So let's just come here and do a quick example. So let's say we have Monday. Let's say we have Monday, yeah. We have Tuesday. We have Monday again. We have Tuesday again. Somebody is saying something. All right. So we have 15 minutes left. So let's just continue. So let's say here we have, okay, so let's say Monday. This is the day, right? The day. Let's just say the amount. So let's say on Monday we spent 200 naira, 2000 naira rather. On Tuesday we spent 1000 naira. The second Monday we spent 3000 naira, and the on Tuesday again we spent 2000 naira. Right, I'm just doing a quick example for you guys. So let's say we want to align this to a table now. So let's say we want to say, okay, I want to see the day of the amount I spent on Mondays alone, right? So I don't want to see Tuesday. So you can't. What you have to do is you have to go ahead and be saying, okay, Monday, yeah, I spent 2000, and where's Monday again? Okay. Monday, yeah, again, I spent 3000, right? So that's why table is used. Table is used to simplify all these methods, right? So to turn a particular cell or a particular range of values into a table, all you have to do is to select the range of table that you want to do. So I'm going to select for my column name, so day down to the ending, right? So this is where I want to just transfer to a table, right? I'll just come here and click on what table. Now it's going to ask you a question that, does your table have headers? Well, based on this cell that we highlighted, yes, it has headers. What are the headers here? So the headers are basically the day and the amount. Do you guys agree with me? Right? And we'll just click on OK. So you can see that it turns into a table straightforward. You can see this particular drop down icon is used to filter the table, right? So now let's go ahead and filter our table. So let's say we want to see only values for Monday. We'll just go ahead and click on select all first. Then we'll say, okay, we want only Monday. I'll click on what? Okay. So you can see it basically shows us the data for only Monday alone, right? Only Monday alone. Very simple and straightforward, right? So, but we are going to get we're going to dive deeper into tables once we get into the topic. So let's go ahead and explore other ones. So we can see we have chart. Let's just clear the filter, right? So let's just select all. So you can see we have chart here, recommended chart. So if you want to use chart in Excel, go ahead and click on the table where you want to use chart and just click on recommended chart. So you just see the one that it gives you. Just click on OK. So you can see the chart. So you can see that the first Monday we had 2000, which is what we have here. The second we have 1000 and everything. So don't worry about this. We'll dive deeper into that. I'm just trying to give you guys the introduction. This is also the design, the page layout. So this way you can also format the margin, the orientation, the size of how the Excel is going to look like. If you want the background to be you want to change the background and everything. So this way you get to format everything in Excel, right? So the page layout. So let's go ahead to formulas, right? So formulas is basically used to calculate in Excel, right? Very simple and straightforward. So let's say we want to calculate the total amounts that we have here. To use formula in Excel, the most important thing that you have to know is you have to press the equals to sign first. If you don't press this equals to sign, there's no way you're going to calculate any formula in Excel, right? So basically, just press equals to and type the formula that you want. So we have sum, we have different ones. So let's say we want to sum all the values. We just write equals to sum, right? Then click open brackets, then select the number that you want to start from. Or starting from here. Where do we want to stop? We want to stop at the last Tuesday that we had 2000. So we'll just click on Shift Control down. Very simple and straightforward. And type close brackets. When you are done, enter. It shows you the total amount. You can see total amount is what? 8,000. If you do your math, 2000 plus 1000, that's 3k. 3000, that's 6 plus 2000 again, that's 8000. So it's very correct. So we have other formulas too, right? So we have the financial, we have the logical. This logical formula, I really love it because it's similar to Python too, right? Where we have the if, you can do if else statement. So if you know the logical formula very well in Excel, when we start Python, I will start doing conditional formatting, conditional when we start conditional data types in Excel in Python, right? Where we have the elif, the if, and stuff like that, you're going to understand it very well. So make sure you pay attention to your Excel class when your child is explaining to you. So we also have the data. So this data is basically used to import external data. If you want to import maybe a CSV file and you don't know how it's formatted very well, you can import external data and choose how you want to separate the data. You can also go ahead and filter right here. In case you don't have a table yet and you want to filter values, you can go ahead and click on this filter to filter it. You can sort, you can highlight your cell and you can say sort, right? So you can sort if you want to sort ascending or descending order, you can also do that, right? But mostly if you want to use the sort value, is always is always making sense to use sort values when you have tables already, right? So this, you can see that it's sorted from the highest to the lowest. So let's say, yeah, now I want to sort from highest, from the lowest to highest. I'll just come here and click on from smallest to largest. So you can see 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, and 3,000. You can see pretty straightforward, right? So go ahead and play around with Excel. We also have this review. This review is basically for people that are doing TSAs, right? So if you want to um, basically add comments, thesaurus for spellings, and stuff like that. If you also add comments when you say, okay, let's say here now you have this particular chart and you want to add comments that okay, this chart is a chart that was generated based on the day and amount tables, right? You can go ahead and add comments like that, right? So we also have view, right? So this view is basically how you want to view the Excel sheets, right? Most of these view options we have them already here, right? We have them here already. You can see this zoom now. You can see zoom here, right? So basically, view is just how you want to see the Excel sheet, right? Um, Also, this help section is basically if you want to go ahead and reach out to the community. If you have any question, you can go ahead and click on this help ribbon tab here. So with that being said, that will be the end of this introductory to Excel and its interface, right? So once we start the class in proper, we're going to get deep, we're going to dive deeper into each topics one by one, right? So that you're going to understand it very well. Don't forget, this is a quick overview. So you guys can go ahead and play with Excel just to do one or twos before we start our proper class, right? So do we have any question? Do you have any question? Hope you guys followed me, right? I'm sure you guys followed me because I make sure I fixed the issue of not seeing my screen and everything. All right. Do you have any question? Nobody has any question. Do you want me to ask question before we end this class? All right. So I have question for somebody out there. Who should I pick? Um, let's see. With my friend here. All right. Evaristus, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
All right. Yes, sir, my guy. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
So what command do we have to press to for us to activate the shortcuts in Excel?
Odd, sir.
Oh, very good, very good. That's awesome. All right. You can mute your mic now. So I'm going to my next friend here. I'm just picking you guys as random. Somebody is saying, can we use Excel on phone too? You can use the Google Docs on phone, right? So, but when you're using your phone, you don't have options to all this alt and stuff like that. You're just basically going to be typing the values and the stuff with your keypad, right? So you can use Google Docs Excel on your phone, yes. But having access to this interface in general, I don't think is really possible. So let's look at my next person here. Amid, unmute your mic. Amid, are you here?
I'm here, sir.
All right, very good. So in Excel, we have this particular interface where we're seeing home, insert, page layout. What is the name referred to this particular um interface, right? So what is it called?
Particularly, is it the menu bar?
We have the right, it's the menu bar, right? But there's a name that I said that it's being called. So we have the home something, we have the insert something. What are those names called?
Ah, I cannot remember, sir.
Aish, 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 aish. All right, all right. So does anyone want to help him out? Who wants to help him out? Unmute the mic. Abdul Fattah. Okay, kindly go on.
Tabs.
All right, tabs. Very, very simple and straightforward. Tabs. So now, thank you for that answer. So let me pick another person here. Zakaria. Kindly unmute your mic. Zakaria, unmute your mic. All right, I'll assume Zakaria much time to waste. Let me look at someone else. Olashupo. Olashupo, kindly unmute your mic. All right. So as Abdul Fattah helped us that it's called tabs. So we have tabs, the home tab, insert tab. So under these tabs, we have some other particular tab again, some other UI, right? So what are those names referred to?
I think you said it's ribbon.
Yes, exactly. Very correct. So yeah, that's what we call ribbon in Excel. Very good. So the last question for the day before we end the class. All right. The last question. Let me look for someone here. I think we have about 5 minutes left. Blessing, kindly unmute your mic.
Yes, sir.
All right, Blessing, right? So the question for you is
Sir,
what is the insert tab basically used for?
the insert tab.
Yes.
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Probably you want to like add. Okay, you used pictures for example. So that's what I used to explain. It's probably you want to like im import like I'll say external stuffs like pictures, images. That's where you use the insert tab.
All right, very correct, very correct. So the insert tab is basically used for importing stuff from outside. So in case you want to design, you want to add pictures and stuff like that. So that's very correct. So does anyone have any question again before I end this class? All right. Since there's no question, thank you guys for joining today's lecture. Make sure that you stay active because updates will be dropped on the group to pick the particular career path you want to venture into. So make sure you stay tuned and don't forget to drop the email that you're using to join the class. Right? You have to drop the email you're using to to join the class because that's the email you'll be using throughout. Right? So don't forget that. So with that being said, that will be the end of today's class. And if you guys have any question, don't forget to DM me and see you guys in the next one. All right, Abdul Fattah, you have a question? ASAP. All right, you're welcome. All right, Zakaria, that's fine. That's fine. All right, have a good one, guys. See you guys later. Peace out.